Salve! This is Chef Cha-Cha Dave. Tonight I'm making poached chicken, which is very healthy, and with pasta and tomatoes. And I'm going to use canned tomatoes, the plum tomatoes. Going to crush them down with a little bit of garlic. It's a very loose sauce on top of the pasta with the chicken on top of it shredded. I have my water boiling here. Okay, now here are the chicken breasts. Okay, I'm going to place them right into the water. And these, you don't want to boil these, you want to poach them. So I'm going to turn this down so that it just bubbles very gently to cook the meat. And I'm going to put in some fresh basil and a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. And this is going to poach for about 15 to 20 minutes, that's all. I want the chicken to stay moist. And I'm going to cover this and bring it back up to heat. Okay, higher again, and now these are poached. I've turned that off. I let it sit in the hot water for a while. You don't want to boil this too much because then it gets very chewy and tough. Okay, so now these are going into this bowl. They have to cool because I'm going to shred them with my hand. We may use some of these, we may not use all of it. And I'm going to put just a little bit of the broth in here, but not much. Okay, and the rest of the broth, I can use this for other things. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the sauce. Okay, now I'm going to put a little olive oil in this pan. Use the same pan that we just poached the chicken. Okay, and then I'm going to start putting in my peppers, my portobello mushrooms. This is 8 ounces. That's 1 green pepper. And this is a very, very simple sauce. And these are just to cook down a little bit so that they're soft. Alright, I'm going to throw in the garlic as well right now. Okay, that's 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. Okay, now this is what we want. I don't want it too fried. Over here now I'm going to put in these tomatoes. These are plum tomatoes. You take your hands, you squeeze them. Keep your hands down because they'll go shooting all over the place. So you want chunks of tomatoes in this sauce. It's not a regular tomato sauce. And these are sweet and they're quite good. So you just squeeze them all like this. Okay, now this gets poured right in here. Looks beautiful. Now, on top of that, I'm going to put in big, loose chopped fresh basil. Now this is going to just simmer for about 5 minutes. This is not one of those tomato sauces that you cook and cook and cook. It's very loose, it's fresh tasting, it's quite delicious. Now a few of the other items that I put in here, a little salt, a little pepper, I'm going to put in some honey, and the honey just helps any acidity that might be in the tomatoes. It'll just neutralize that. Also, it's a personal thing. Some people do not like the sweetness in the sauce. I love the sweetness. So that's how we're doing it. And this is how I like it. And I'll tell you, if you tasted this, you will also like it. Some parsley. Stir that around. And this needs to simmer uncovered for about 5 minutes. Okay, hiya Bambinos, I'm back. And here we go, the water is boiling. Okay, and I'm going to put in, we're using penne pasta tonight. You can use any pasta you want. You can use linguine, fettuccine, you can use elbow macaroni if you wanted, but that I would say that this is the best. Or with spaghetti, regular spaghetti. You can use the little bow ties, and I'm going to put some salt in this. So now I'm going to cover this so that it comes back to a boil. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to take the chicken. The chicken needs to be shredded, and you shred it with your fingers. Alright, you pull it into pieces. I'm going to do probably 2/3 of this. It feels very tender. You could cut it with a knife also. It's still pretty hot. Ow, ow, ow. You want chunks. This is a very, very plain tasting chicken, but we're going to put on some Parmesan cheese, so that's going to help that. Okay, so I'm going to shred all of this. Okay, the chicken is all shredded, and I'll tell you, one of the things that I really love to do, and I bet you like to do it too, you take the chicken, you put it in the sauce. It's delicious. You always, no one is in the kitchen except you. That's what you do. Anyway, the pasta is done. Okay, and this is al dente, which means hard to the tooth, and you don't want it to be too mushy. Okay, so now this is going to go into the bowl. This, of course, goes into separate plates. Now, I'm going to put the chicken on, and I'm going to actually use my hands because I want to. This goes on the top. You want plenty of chicken. Now, this chicken, if you have extra chicken when you make this, like I'm going to leave this much here, okay? You can make a chicken salad sandwich from this, what's left in the bowl. You can chop it up. You can just eat it cold. It's delicious. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, so now this is here. And now we're going to put on our tomato sauce on top. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm going to put it all on so that it goes down in between all of the penne pasta at the bottom. Look at that. Then we got to put a little bit of Parmesan Reggiano on top of this. You don't have to put it in the sauce while it's cooking. You can if you want a thicker sauce, but this is dynamite. You got to put a lot on here because there's a lot of pasta underneath here. This is great also for leftovers. So it depends upon who's eating this. This is 4 servings to my calculation, but some people eat like little birds. All right, I put plenty of cheese on there. Now we have a little bit of parsley on top of that. Isn't that pretty? Then you can serve this for dinner with a side salad. Okay, and a plain salad. And then we have bread. I'm using French bread instead of Italian bread. You could use ciabatta. You could use any kind of bread, but garlic bread is also good. But this is fine because this is a very light meal. Now I'm going to try this. I'm going to put another piece there. I'm going to take a mushroom, a little cheese, a little tomato. Ah, it doesn't want to, it's running from me. I think this may be too al dente. That means it's still alive. This is out of this world. It's delicious. The chicken, try a piece of chicken. The chicken is very, very light, and it doesn't have a tremendous amount of flavor. The flavors are going to come from the sauce and the cheese. Chicken is very tender, very clean tasting. This is a very healthy meal. Not a tremendous amount of calories. The calories are coming from the cheese and the bread, so don't eat the bread. And you can take that bread, dip it into the sauce. That's one of my favorite things to do. Dynamite. Dynamite. So, come visit me again. I had fun making this. Ciao.